Hi everyone, it's Chrissie and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Sims 4 Creator Sim video. So it almost feels like forever since the last time I did a Creator Sim video. The last one that I did was actually the Argent family that I created way back when the Sims 4 Werewolves game pack came out. So yeah, it has been quite a while, but today we're actually going to be creating a new family for the world of Copperdale for my save file. So this is for my rebuild Copperdale project, and this is actually the second family that I've created for this world, but I didn't record me creating the first one. But today we're actually going to be creating the Voss family. Now the Voss family is actually the family that I created that owns the LaSuli Grill that went up on Sunday. So that restaurant is actually going to be owned by this family. So first up we have Maya. Now Maya is one of the moms in the family, and they're actually a video game streamer. So they actually have the new video game streaming career, or like part-time career that came with high school years. Now obviously in the game it's a part-time job, but in my head and in my like storytelling, I guess you could say, it's a full-time thing. Maya does like streaming and all of that stuff full-time. They work from home. They're going to have like a really cool office and everything like that in their house. And yeah, so basically they work from home most days, and they're really into like obviously gaming. They're a gaming streamer, but they're also really into, you know, wellness. They love yoga and meditation. They're also really into like dogs and animals. So the family actually has 2 dogs. They have 2 Pekingese dogs, and Maya as well as their youngest son Peter are actually the ones that like really love animals, and they're the closest with, you know, the 2 dogs. So that's something that I thought was really cute, because I rarely create families with pets. So yeah, I really wanted to create 2 dogs for this household. So yeah, that's Maya. Now Maya had a very bright style. You'll notice that I'm only doing the like everyday outfits for all of these Sims, because it just took me forever to create them. I had like 3 hours of footage when I did this video, because yeah, I spent forever like just picking colors and being really indecisive, because a lot of the Sims, a lot of their outfits and a lot of, you know, the stuff that the items that I ended up using are very like far out of my like comfort zone, if that makes sense. So yeah, I try to give all of these Sims some like very unique outfits and like unique styles, and make them, you know, stand out a little bit, you know, from my like typical normal Sims that I tend to create. So yeah, it took me forever because I didn't really know what I was doing, if that makes sense. But yeah, so Maya had a very like bright and colorful like fashion sense. You might not notice that in their everyday outfit, but in their other outfits, you'll see that more so in like the screenshots at the end. They have a very bright and fun, colorful, you know, fashion sense. They don't really care about what other people think about, you know, what they wear and their style and all of that stuff. And that's actually something that both Maya and Lilian kind of like share. So Lilian also really doesn't care what other people think. Neither of them do, and that's something that they actually kind of like passed on and like taught to their kids. So you'll notice that once we get to the teenagers and to even little Peter as well, they kind of just wear what they want, and they don't really care about, you know, what other people would think about what they wear. If they want to wear something very bright and neon, they will. If they want to wear something a little bit darker and more like punk rock style, then they will. So yeah, their styles are all very much like kind of all over the place, but I really loved that, and I had so much fun with it. But yeah, so moving on to Lilian. Lilian actually is the one that kind of like runs the restaurant. So obviously the whole family owns it, because that's just the way The Sims works. But Lilian is actually the one that's really into cooking and baking, and you know, she kind of like runs and manages the restaurant, whereas Maya kind of works from home and does like video game streaming and stuff. So yeah, that's Lilian. Now Lilian and Maya actually have conflicting lifestyles. So Maya has the health food nut lifestyle, whereas Lilian actually has the junk food fiend lifestyle. So Lilian loves, you know, she has a real sweet tooth, whereas Maya prefers obviously, you know, more healthy foods. And in my head, they kind of like work around that by taking turns making dinner, for example. So when it's Maya's turn to make dinner, they will make, something really healthy. But when it's Lilian's turn, they might make, something with bacon or pizza or, something like that. And like I said, Lilian also really loves cooking and baking and stuff. So yeah, they do stuff like that a lot. They do a lot of baking and all of that stuff for the family. So yeah, those are the two adults, the two moms. And yeah, they're both young adults as well. And then we have the two teenagers. So we have Ruby and Dean. Now, we're working on Ruby first because she's actually the oldest of the two teenagers. They're not twins or anything like that, but Ruby is actually the oldest of the two teenagers, and she's a really big, like, overachiever. She actually has the new overachiever trait, and she wants to be a style icon. That's her new aspiration. It's one of the new, like, teen aspirations that came with the pack, and she's actually in the Simfluencer career, so like the part-time career. She's also on the cheerleading team, and she's part of the cheerleading club that I created with the get-together club system for my save file, but she doesn't really fit in with the other Sims in that club or even on the cheerleading team itself, because they're all, in my save file, the cheerleaders are all going to be that very stereotypical, mean girl cheerleader that you see in like all American movies and stuff. So she doesn't really fit in with that because she's not mean or, anything like that at all. She's very friendly. She's very, she's a very nice Sim. But she's kind of just on the cheerleading team because it's a good thing to have on like a university application, for something like that. So because she's such an overachiever, she's kind of trying to get as much like experience and positive things to put on her university application, because she actually wants to attend Brightchester. And in my head, she's really into fashion, obviously, because she's a Simfluencer. She's on Trendy a lot, so she's really into fashion. She's also really into photography, which is actually something that she and Maya kind of like share. It's like kind of like a shared hobby of theirs. But she also recently got into writing, and that's kind of the thing that she wants to study at university. She wants to get a like language and literature degree, and kind of like turn that into a career maybe. So yeah, she doesn't really fit in with the other like mean Sims on the cheerleading team. And she also has the single and loving it, not aspiration, lifestyle, because she doesn't really want to be in a relationship anytime soon. She is more so just focused on her schoolwork and getting into Brightchester and getting her degree and all of that stuff. So she's not really looking to be in a relationship at all anytime soon. And she also has the unflirty trait, so that kind of like plays well into that. Now, moving on to Dean. They are actually kind of like the geekier one of the two teenagers, whereas Ruby is a little bit more like, I don't know, like not necessarily stylish, but more, I guess, outgoing, you could say. We have Dean, who's actually a little bit more socially awkward. They have the socially awkward trait, and they also have the goal-oriented aspiration. That's another one of the aspirations that came with the pack. So they kind of like really want to graduate high school as like valedictorian or something like that. And they're actually the captain of the chess team. Yeah, they're the captain of the chess team in my game and in my head as well. That's, they don't really have ranks as such for the like teams for the high school. But yeah, they're actually like maxed out in the chess team, like after school activity. So in my head, they're like the chess captain, if that's a thing. But yeah, so they're the captain of that team. They are in a really fun, like, nerdy club as well, like a group of nerdy teenagers and stuff like that. So they're very into gaming, computers, programming, obviously chess, because they're on the chess team. But they're also into, like, comedy. But because they're socially awkward in my head, maybe they are better at, like writing the jokes rather than telling jokes, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's Dean. And like you'll notice, they don't really have the stereotypical geeky Sim look, or like geeky kid or like geeky teenager look. They kind of look, in my opinion, they look a little bit more like hipster or like skater type look, but I really love the way they turned out. And like I said, you'll see all of their other outfits at the end in the screenshots. Now, last up, we have little Peter, and he's actually a perfectionist, but he's also really creative. But not really like artsy creative, more so into music, and he's really into piano, actually. So yeah, that's basically the whole family. I can't believe I managed to like tell you guys about all of them in such a short time. I'm talking into the screenshots, but that's just fine. If you want to hear more about this family and their story, definitely stick around for the speed build that I'll be doing later this week, where I'll actually be building their house. And then obviously the family is already up on the gallery, or they will be by the time this video goes out. They're completely CC free, like I think I mentioned. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, do all of the like regular YouTube stuff, and I'll see you all in my very next video. Bye everyone.